hour is late. A hero was lost. And the enemy approaches to render all in fire. Aleroth, I'll guard you yet. May deliverance alight as I become your Aegis.
Zandalor can be quite insistent, but I don't want to tell you that. Not every day. Wait, did you hear? Who approaches?
The plane of Hypnerotomakia. I have found it. And there he is, the object of my pursuit. Why does anyone seek you out, the questing knight? Be they beggar, bishop or baron, they need your gifts. Ah, how good it is to be here in this empire of dream, desire, and fruition, where one is truly omnipotent. That those possibilities are but ephemeral illusions, as long as I remain king. That was nothing, for I know this place well, and as yet retain an inkling of my abilities. Yet still I am nothing, where once I was. My name an omen, my actions roots of awe and fear. Yet this matters not until I am free again. In Livelong I am weak, but in Livelong I must be strong once more. See my undead legions walk before me.
If it is indeed the breeze of the abyss you hanker for, I believe it best you be kept shackled.
You speak before your turn, secret incarnation. You have not yet heard my terms. I will take you away from here, dragon, and bring you to the city of Aleroth, where my true self rots away deep beneath the cobbled streets, kept alive only by my dormant powers. Free me, and I will free the divine in turn. These notions are but illusions, my friend. As is the idea that you have a choice. To Aleroth we fare. Now.
Be careful, Dragon Knight. Do not risk what the release of this thing may beget for my sake. Here dwells evil. Do not forget.
Dragon Knight. Where have you been? What has happened? Does Ikerna live, and is the Damned One dead?
You have gained new insights.
What? It cannot be. How did this happen? Leave it at that. How can we? They are together again, and the whole of Ribelon will fall. Belegar's bollocks. It cannot be. Pardon my language, my friend, but this is the most fortuitous news I have heard in a very long time. And you have the means to enact this miracle. Of course. I trust you will see us through like you have done before. Even if you can free Lucian, I fear it may not be enough to turn the tide. Aleroth is in imminent peril, and she needs the dragon to deliver her. Divine, where to begin? As you have most certainly noticed, we are trapped beneath a canopy of flying fortresses that threaten to destroy the city. Fortunately, Zandalor has a plan, no matter how desperate, that involves you and Aleroth's liberation. Though there is no alternative plan, we did send someone on Zandalor's mission in case you had fallen in the Hall of Echoes. You know her well. It was Commander Road who took up the challenge and ventured into the dark. Yes, to anticipate your question, she was placed under arrest last time you met. But the greatest dragon slayer in history belongs in the field, not behind bars chewing old bread, wouldn't you say? What a woman, Dragon Knight. I pray I may soon look into her feral yet gorgeous eyes again. I have not. But I hope with all my heart she is yet alive. But let us get back to Zandalor's plan. Here is what he told me. When the fortresses started to appear above Aleroth like black stars in a noon sky, he realized all were doomed unless he sought help. This is why he delved for an ancient being buried in the catacombs beneath the city. It lies incarcerated by the most unyielding sorceries known to any living mage. A combination of locks and barriers. And yet Zandalor removed from it the first spell of protection so he could use it to shield Aleroth. This was a desperate act. For if what dwells there breaks free, a second Damian will arise. Yet it is him you need to find, the tightly chained essence of the mad wizard, Berlin. Zandalor knows he cannot hold the shield forever, so he bid me to tell you you will need to contact Berlin and persuade him to cede to you the Eye of the Patriarch. Right now it is the heart of the city, the life's blood that shelters it from death. Yet, like any other heart, sooner or later, its beat is doomed to stop. But I can see you are not in the mood for metaphors. It boils down to this. Upholding the shield costs a tremendous amount of mental energy that will eventually exhaust even a wizard's mind. Suffice to say, we have hours, not days. I honestly have no idea. This man, or creature, was completely unknown to me until Zandalor informed me of its existence. I asked him what he knew and how, but he remained strangely reticent. For the first time since I have known him, and that has been a good many years, I think I saw fear in his eyes. Never have I felt so nerve-shatteringly uncomfortable. It is a device of massive destruction that will allow us to obliterate Damian's horror-fueled armada. The logistic particulars are unclear to me as yet, but we'll tackle those when we get there. Somehow, you will need to persuade him to give you the Eye. Barter with him. Promise him everything in return, but do not free him. Even if it means failure, do not set him loose. If you can, bring us back the Eye. Yes and no. Before she set off, Rode told me she would consult a famous historian. She believes he would know more about Berlin and the dungeon he is his inn. Maybe you should seek him out as well. A scholar named Thaddeus. He is perhaps the most erudite member of the Prancing Seahorse. You know this establishment, do you not? The Gentleman's Club? Mind you, it's more than that. Their library is a veritable treasure trove for those with an interest in obscure magic. But I shall keep you no longer, unless you have further questions. Time is of the essence. Time is what we lack. My word, you can. But I hesitate to ask even more of you. Once you venture beyond Mardanius Plaza, you will find a whole district of death. A no-go zone. Barred and barren. Not long after you closed the rifts and left to find again a soul, an uprising began. An uprising of walking dead. I declared that part of the city lost, because I cannot jeopardize the life of one more champion. Still, if you could find the fountainhead of this plague, and let run dry that hellish well, once more all of Aleroth would be in your debt. But of course, the best in town would be Dr. West. He's the city's mortician, and the most avid practitioner of dark. Would you like to hear more? Chanel's your girl. She lives on Lennon. Would you like to hear the best in town? Would you like to hear more? As luck would have it, two of my best friends. Would you like to hear more? There used to be one on the first floor of the... Would you like to hear more? As you wish. I think Zandalor has a plan, but it worries for later, my friend. I'm afraid that is impossible. Should his shielding spell fail, the only thing I know is that he must reside in the catacombs. I have heard the most extensive of them lie directly under the Academy. Best of luck, Dragon Knight.
So, now you know who I am. Know what lies deep under rock and earth. Even Zandalor bids you to find me, and you will. Find me. Release me.